looking for another one that I have of 50s portraits, stars, and then I rediscovered this joyous book. The Hollywood Book Club. Of course, Marilyn Monroe. Now, I know we've read bits from this before, so I'm just going to just have a little flip through, pick a few pages for us. I hope you are keeping okay. I'm sorry that I missed a video, I think, the other week. I mentioned at the beginning of the year I may have to miss the odd one due to personal commitments. This one's Jane Mansfield, luxuriating in epic bubble bath with a copy of Grace Metalius's suitably soapy Paint and Place. Platinum blonde Jane Mansfield stars as platinum blonde actress Rita Marlowe in the 1957 comedy Will Success Spoil Rock Hunter? She's been courted by an ad agency to spokesmodel their Stay Put lipstick, but between chapters of Metalius's bestseller, published just a year earlier, and soon to be a movie and then a TV series, Rita is more concerned about the men in her life and the nature of true love. Tony Randall, as a mid-level Mad Men-esque executive, is the hero, and Joan Blondell, Tubside, is Rita's personal assistant. A standard poodle emerges from the bath along with Mansfield, and the dog and the sex symbol wrapped in matching towels. It's quite interesting seeing the celebrities with their chosen books. Mason. Bob Hope. Angie Dickinson reclines with Illustrated Book of Love. Claudette Colbert and John Wayne. Joan Fontaine. Looking at that, I like those designs that you get in the house where the staircase turns into a bookcase. Lana Turner. Ginger Rogers. Fred Astaire's go-to dance partner, Ginger Rogers, in her iron designed nightgown, travels through cathedrals and museums of France. In Shall We Dance, the 1937 Astaire and Rogers Lark, with songs by George and Ira Gershwin. Rogers is a tap dancing comedy star, while Astaire has been passing himself off as a Russian ballet master. In fact, he's from Philadelphia. Lots of mix-ups about who's married to whom, as the RKO musical journeys from Paris to New York, with scenes and musical numbers aboard a luxury ocean liner too. I think I remember that one. That's the kind of film I'd quite like to watch now. Harry Belafonte, what is he reading? Displays some torso, and more so posing, puffing and perusing literature in somewhat controversial in the 1957 Caribbean set melodrama Island in the Sun. Also stars John Fontaine. So Ringo Starr. In all the books, Jim Thorpe's dad tells the boy on the Sac and Fox reservation after he's run away from school, quite literally. It's 12 miles back to the family home. Now flash forward 10 years in Jim Thorpe's All-American to Carlisle Indian School, the Pennsylvania college where the Native American from Oklahoma ran track and played football on his way to Olympic glory. Burt Lancaster, who was 38 when he took on the title role of the legendary athlete, evokes Thorpe's academic struggles with a furrowed brow, hunkering down over a massive dictionary. It's absolutely huge. Goodness me. Studying didn't come easy to Jim. Goes the narration. He often fell asleep over his books, and his mind restless and troubled. Cut to the dream sequence and a montage of volumes tumbling off the library shelves onto the future gold medalist's hand or head. Dorothy Malone and Humphrey Bogart. Dorothy Dandridge. Alfred Hitchcock is reading The World of Birds. Grace Kelly. Jazz giant Louis Satchmo Armstrong's autobiography proves the perfect between-scenes reading material for Grace Kelly, who stars as heiress Tracy Lord in High Society, the 1956 musical remake of the Philadelphia Story. Armstrong appears as himself in the movie, doing a swinging number with Bing Crosby. Now You Has Jazz, written by Cole Porter. Both Crosby and Frank Sinatra are vying and crooning for Kelly's affections, with Crosby winning the day and getting to sing True Love in a duet with Kelly as they sail off into the sunset. And speaking of sailing off, High Society marked Oscar-winning Kelly's final role before quitting the biz to become Princess of Monaco. Gene Simmons. Doesn't look like Gene Simmons. A flat tire on the way to work can wreck anyone's day, but Gene Simmons seems to be taking the mishap in stride. The English actress, who will go on to garner accolades and awards in films including Hamlet, The Robe, Guys and Dolls, Elmer Gantry and Spartacus, opens Dora Agelot's family saga, Run of the Stars. Simmons, who was shooting in 1947's The Woman in the Hall outside of London, waits for the SAG wagon immersed in the novel by the Oklahoma writer whose slightly better known prairie fictions include Full Harvest and Trumpets Calling. So it still doesn't. I like that they're Pinewood Studios, 2 miles. Betty Davis. Let's move Betty Davis across to you. It says, outfitted in fashionable riding gear, Warner's star Betty Davis keeps her reading material secret beneath a Guild Library dust jacket, the back of which features an ad for a modern day, 1930s that is, brand of Rosicrucianism, in brackets, explore your mind, screams the invitation to try out the centuries-old spiritual business and discover your mental health and overcome your limitations. Sounds interesting. The Rosicrucian, that's a difficult word, Brotherhood copy goes on. Miss Davis's career spans 7 decades with 2 Oscars and some of the most memorable screen performances of all time. In December 1938, the New York Times reported that Davis's husband, Harmon Oscar Nelson, wanted a divorce. His complaint? Davis read too much. He usually just sat there while his wife read to an unnecessary degree. Joan Collins. On the set of the 1958 western The Bravados, the cowboy-hatted, cowboy-booted Joan Collins is deep into the Thomas Wolfe's delirious doorstop of a classic, You Can't Go Home Again. This Grosset Universal Library paperback edition clocks in at 743 pages. Beginning with Past Imperfect, her 1978 autobiography, the English actress would join Woolf on library shelves. Her 18 titles include memoirs, novels, beauty and health books, and the actress's sister, of course, was the best-selling scribe, Jackie Collins. Marlon Brando. Donald Duck. Ava Maria Saint. Let's pick up a few pages. Audrey Hepburn. In 1953, while shooting Sabrina at Paramount Studios, Audrey Hepburn rented an apartment in Beverly Hills. An apartment with shag carpeting, a flamingo bedspread, and a tray for her breakfast. Barefoot and bestriped, the leading lady with the title role as a chauffeur's daughter, caught between Humphrey Bogart and William Holden, posed for an at-home and on-the-job series that photographer Mark Shaw took for Life magazine. A caption for the piece notes: "While eating, she often reads classical drama with heavy helpings of Shaw and Shakespeare." And a few years down the line, Hepburn would play a New York bookshop clerk who falls into an affair and into some great dance numbers with Fred Astaire in Funny Face. Sophia Loren. So elegant and beautiful, so many of these actors and actresses. In stripy pyjamas, Sophia Loren takes to her bed, her bedtime reading that is. The Italian actress was in London in 1956 for the production of the World War II drama The Key, in which she portrays Swiss expat called upon by a succession of Royal Navy tug captains. Lauren is reading The Champion from Far Away, a collection of short stories by Ben Hecht, the prolific scribe who just happened to have scripted Legend of the Lost, the lusty Sahara adventure yarn she would star in with John Wayne the following year. That's interesting. So, but she portrays a Swiss The Champion from Far Away. I might have to look that up, I think. Let's flick through and find one more. Joan Crawford. And also there's Marilyn Monroe. In her journey from 20th century Fox contract player to 20th century pop culture icon, Marilyn Monroe made a habit of having photographers capture her with a book in hand, be it James Joyce's Ulysses or What You Can Do for Angina Pectoris and Coronary Occlusion. Gosh, truly that's what she's reading in the 1948 bathing suit shot. The tomes helped counter the notion that she was just another vivacious La La Land blonde, and clearly she wasn't. In 1999, Christie auctioned over 400 books from Monroe's personal library, the novels, classics, artist monographs, history, biography, and you name it. And the late star's journal entries, letters, poems and notes reveal a deeply curious soul. In this 1951 photo, Monroe is curled upon her sofa bed with a copy of the Poetry and Prose of Heinrich Heine, an 874-page collection of the German Jewish lyric poet writings in translation, and on the shelves and the end tables a Charlie Chaplin bio, a Dürer and Michelangelo coffee table books, Tolstoy's War and Peace, Steinbeck's Tortilla Flats, and Hemingway's The Sun Also Rises, and Alan Barth's The Loyalty of Free Men, and Stanislavski's Building a Character, brackets work related. Also on a shelf, a small framed photograph of Arthur Miller, with whom she had recently commenced an affair, and in 1956 the Pulitzer Prize winning playwright and the 7-year itch sex symbol would marry. It was nice just to dip back in again. Sean Connery and James Dean. Perhaps we'll dip in again very soon, or I'll find that other book with the portraits, which is a lovely book. I know it's here somewhere. Thank you for joining me for some quiet time together. yourself. And I'll see you again very soon.